Hello everyone, this is Caroline and today is a webcast, OMnium Radio webcast. It is July the 8th, 2012. So I'm going to just very briefly share with you what seems to be going on these days on the earth. As you can imagine, a lot has been going on. Energetically, of course, we feel all these strange symptoms. Out of the blue, we have strange headaches. We cannot sleep very well. We have stuff in our ears, in our hands, very strange physical symptoms. And of course, this is not the first time you're hearing about these things. But what's happening is that since March of this year, there is a new energy that has begun, basically. It is really the very much the presence of the new paradigm. But then you will look around and say, wait a minute, it all still looks very much the same, meaning chaos everywhere. What kind of new paradigm is that? And that is the reason why you are still used to thinking very linearly. You're used to retrieving information in a linear manner. If we say that as of March, there's this new energy that is beginning, we expect that as of April and May into May and June and so on and so forth, only that new energy continue to exist and strengthen. It doesn't really work this way. So what this means is that this new powerful, new paradigm, energy and frequency is very much present and it's here to stay. That's what it means. It's no longer going to be coming in and out. It's too solid to be interfered with or broken down or dismantled. That's what this means. The new Earth grid that is responsible for creating earthly reality is now in place. It's kind of like you have a new structure, a new building, and it's very solidly present. And so in this building, though, there are all the old tenants, so to speak, right? So you have the old tenants and into this new structure. So the old tenants are used to the old building, and so they're very much struggling right now. They're trying to kind of find a corner or a piece or a kind of a place that they recognize that used to be very comfortable. And at the same time, for those who understand this new structure, they're very much comfortable, but at the same time, they feel the presence of the old tenants that are basically in full chaos, kind of trying to find their way and their place. So this translates into total chaos. There is energetic chaos. People that are trying to hold on and to find an energetic link that they connect with, that they are familiar with, that they can relate to. And at the same time, the new energies are now supporting the people like you and I, trying to bring this alignment with source. So when this presence of the two energies is so strong, which is what is happening right now, it really feels like a big battlefield. It's like it's chaos. Some people are pulling in one way, some people are pulling the other way. And this energetic chaos is exhausting. So if you have been feeling truly exhausted, that is the reason why. That is the reason why also you cannot sleep in the normal sleeping hours. There's all this movement going on in your space, in your physical energy. So in also more physical terms, what this translates into is that many people are gravitating towards specific geographical areas because these particular areas are remaining, if you will, kind of concentrated with the old paradigm energies, and other people are being pulled towards new geographical location, new areas. So if you're one of those people who are also suddenly feeling that you must move somewhere or go somewhere, that is the reason why. And so imagine that the whole planet, the whole world, everybody on the earth has decided to move all of a sudden. So that is the reason why there's this chaos going on. Everybody is being uprooted and trying to find a new home within this new structure. So that is why we will continue to see more of this energetic chaos. We will continue to see the old paradigm getting even older, whereas the new paradigm getting more and more present. But in the meantime, that is why there's all these movement going on in your head. And so the best thing to do is to, first of all, understand that it's not you. To understand that that is the principle. This is part of the process to finally arrive to a place where everybody is comfortable into this big new structure. And for those who are truly, truly uncomfortable, they're just going to have to go out and find another structure that suits them. And so this cleansing process, this delineation, so to speak, this discerning is happening right now in a very, very strong way. And the best way to deal with this is, again, to recognize that this is not you. This is a global effect that is happening. And to always invoke the consciousness of source wherever you are. Even within this chaos, you can still invoke source. And that's the reason why, by the way, going back to these little videos that I've created, these apps, in 3 minutes, for those who have tried them, can tell you that in those 3 minutes, you can, just through breathing and through tuning into these very specific frequencies that are behind these videos, in 3 minutes, you can go back to this frequency that allows you to feel at peace, calm, and connected. So please take advantage of these new tools that are available. And know that you will be able to find this connection no matter how bad the chaos gets. This also means that people are still trying to find their way into and deciding basically if they are more comfortable in the old paradigm or the new paradigm. And in a practical sense, this is where you also come in more than ever before. This is a time where your work is very much needed. This is the time where people who are kind of stuck in between and lost and confused can still be open. It's kind of like their last chance, so to speak, to find their way to into this new higher vibration. And this, your work, through the work that you're doing, understanding the process of healing, the process of connecting to source, the process of retrieving information, not through books and through the old paradigm way, but to really find the most empowering way to feel that connection. This is where everything that you've been working on, that you've been learning through this process, especially with these OMnium tools that I've been sharing with you the last few years, this is the time to put this at work and to very much be out there working, of course, always on yourself, but also helping others. I think this year, 2012, even though it still feels like major chaos, it still feels like a lot of mess. It is, in fact, and in a strange way, the best time for you to step up and begin your 3D work. So just think about it this way. This is an opportunity. It's just the circumstances, because there's like a big whirlwind, so to speak, going on outside with all this energetic chaos. But like I said, people need you more than ever before. So just remember that. So if you have had some ideas as to how to begin to work with this information, how to heal, how to help others, how to simply just create the connection space. You don't have to have a full-blown business plan of any sort. You simply, by allowing others to tune into the connection that you hold as you do this connection, you are helping people. So just remember that you could connect with old friends or family or what have you, and simply invite them to be in this space, and you will be helping them greatly. So this is the time to be out there and be doing this work very much, I believe. Also, let's see here. In terms of the solar flares, because I'm reading your emails at the same time, this is again the geophysical events that we have been talking about. We have been saying that the geophysical events are always, how should I say, they are monitored so that and coordinated according to what is happening on the Earth. Because you see, if the solar flares continued and were to hit the Earth in a very dramatic way at a time where some humans were creating a very detrimental plan of some sort, the timing of the geophysical event has to be very much monitored and controlled very carefully. And so that the planet can sustain the geophysical changes and not collapse completely. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but the planet has been, and still is, by the way, but it's much better now, in a very, very, very bad shape. It's basically been dead and it's been being like brought back to life barely, you see. And so what is happening is that if the Earth right now could not sustain anything too drastic, and so as humans are creating more detrimental plans, such as dumping nuclear waste right and left and doing these sorts of things, while the geophysical events are going to be slightly delayed or slightly lessened, or maybe position-wise will be a little bit altered, you see. And so the solar flares are part of the reigniting of the Earth in the proper way, because the sun is responsible for a lot more than just the light on Earth. It's responsible for life on Earth, as you can imagine. And so with the reprogramming of the entire DNA of the Earth, the solar flares are very much in need. But they will continue to be erratic right now. And of course, like I said, they will continue, the geophysical events will continue through many years to come. I do not believe, from my perspective, that there is this one apocalyptic event, and certainly not, the December 21st date or what have you. This is simply one of the dates where the Earth has to continue adjusting itself. Again, because the Earth is in such dire state, it cannot adjust all of its levels, all of its layers in one day. It has to adjust its atmosphere in a certain way, and gradually it has to adjust its chemical balance in a certain way, and gradually it has to adjust its mineral levels in a certain way. It has to adjust its electricity and magnetic field in a certain way. All of these are the different layers and the different multidimensional aspects of the Earth. And so not all of these layers and aspects can and will change in one single day. It doesn't work this way. If it were the case, then the planet will just explode and we will all die in this one day. And I really do not believe that is the case. I just want you to go into your heart for a moment and see if you truly, truly, truly believe and feel that you have come to this planet and come in contact with this information and this consciousness, and have done all the work you have been doing, and really feel that you are here to simply perish in this one apocalyptic event. you can feel that for yourself. But I'm here to share with you my perspective, but it's up to you to feel the truth of it or not. It is totally an individual case scenario anyway. And so from my perspective, we are here to continue on the earth for a very long time. Now, having said that, it does not mean that the earth is not going to have to go through very severe geophysical changes. But these severe geophysical changes is not the apocalypse, are simply needed geophysical changes in order for the planet to survive. You understand? It's as if someone had so many, I don't know how to describe this, maybe tumors or distortions and all sorts of unneeded, unnecessary, clogged up energy in their body. What happens is that this person is going to be very, very tired, dragging all of this information, all of these distortions, one day after another, 1 year after another, millennia after another. That is how the earth is feeling. It's been holding on to all this unnecessary, big, clogged up energy for all these thousands of years. And so what happens is that in order for these energies to heal, they're going to have to be taken out one way or another. And you will say, wait a minute, could we not just simply heal them? Yes, normally we could have, but these added blocked energy are so massive. I don't know if you realize how massive they are, how far we have gone in damage. Very, very, very far. That probably the only way that the earth is going to be able to return to its full functioning capacity is simply by adjusting and taking one part at a time. So taking one part at a time translates into one massive earthquake every now and then, massive storms every now and then, solar flares every now and then. And like I said, this is because I'm saying every now and then, meaning over the course of many years still to come. Of course, we have seen a lot of this already the last few years, but this will continue through the linear time anyway, over the many years to come. And if this was not the case, the Earth could not survive. It could not simply get rid of all of these massive blocked energy and all of this information simply in one day. All right? So that is my outlook on this. And so you can go to your heart and see if that makes any sense. Let me see. I'm going to read a couple of your questions here, and then we're going to move on to the healing circle. So here's a question. Just as we will take 7 to 10 years to fully awaken, the earth needs this time to heal as well. Love this anti-apocalypse view. Yes, in other words, I truly believe that this is very much an ongoing process. And like I said, you can simply research the actual nuclear waste, only the nuclear waste that is present on the earth. Just Google that and see the extent of the damage. Nuclear waste that is present on the earth is so massive that it will take hundreds and hundreds of years to simply clean just that. Now, imagine the atmosphere and everything else, and without getting into all those details. So you're going to have to do it in this way, which makes a lot more sense, to spread it over several years and allow the earth to rest between each massive geophysical event. All right? So I hope you can keep that perspective, and I hope you can not buy into one person's view who In fact, they're not wrong when they're looking at one very massive event, for example, and they're feeling that and they're saying, I know for sure that, they're saying even scientists can see that there's a massive earthquake going to California or the West Coast or Japan or whatever. And in fact, it is true that there is a very high potential, but this does not mean that the entire earth is coming to an end, and that would be simply too easy. All right. Let's see another question here. If we do not find the most aligned place to live, will we have a difficult time? My dear, if you don't feel that there is another aligned place than the one you're in right now, then you are exactly where you are supposed to be, and you will then be perfectly fine. All right, another question. Some changes, such as the poles changing position, aren't those changes pretty drastic from a human point of view? Of course, and the pole changing is happening as we're speaking. Again, the human mind has a tendency to simplify everything. When we say polar shift, people think that in one day we're going to wake up and the north will be south and south would be north and everybody will be upside down. This is not how it works. This is, again, a very gradual thing that happens over many, many, many years. And so it is normal that this happens in this way if the planet were to survive, which I very much feel it is the case. But in the meantime, there's some bumpy things happening at the same time. But I just want you to put that in perspective, because what's happening is that here you are falling into the fear. So we're not here to fall into the fear. If we were here to fall into the fear, then we are following everybody else who have come before us and have created a society based on fear. So we're not doing anything better. Remember, I don't think you have come here and followed a spiritual path, have asked to awaken to your higher consciousness, to truly understand the humanity's consciousness and elevate humanity's consciousness by falling into the fear. Just remember. And so every time somebody presents you a scenario, it could be their scenario. It doesn't mean, again, that they were wrong. They probably were seeing one aspect of the whole picture, and that's okay. But then bring it back to you and make a choice. Does this mean I'm going to fall into the fear, or does this mean I'm going to put it back into perspective? The bigger perspective is that I am here to raise humanity's consciousness. I totally understand that the earth has been in a very, very, very dire situation for a very, very long time. Therefore, in order to come back or to take the earth to the next level of awareness, the higher level of next level of evolution and consciousness, we're going to have to get rid of some things. We're going to have to clean things up. And how do you clean things up? There's a bit of a chaos. You're going to have to take stuff out, and you're going to have to gradually clean things. But at least you have the tools, you have the possibilities, you have the connection, you have the information. And I recommend that you quickly shift back to the tools that are being provided for you and just keep going. Just keep going to the next level of awareness, the next higher level of consciousness, and don't fall into the fear. All right? That is my